Oh, hey, welcome. We have a podcast. You should listen to it. Let us entertain you.
Yeah, we're gonna entertain you like this.
That's a little too much energy.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we're not doing accordion. We're gonna be nice and calm. I'm really bad at this. But yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Frogs and Grog podcast, or
Frogcast.
Frogcast. Woo!
Love the Frogcast.
Exactly.
I hope you guys tuned into our stuff last week because it was really good.
Yeah, it was epic.
Should have been our what's it called? Our video. So
Yeah,
good video. Anyways,
video and trailer.
if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on our YouTube. We'll link it in the description. So,
Yes.
Yes. Anyways,
Welcome.
welcome back. Today, we're talking about personal scary experiences.
It's Halloween, guys. It's Halloween month, spooky month.
Spooky month moment.
We
Anyways,
figured we should talk about our own personal scary stories and experiences.
scary stories and experiences. Exactly.
So you said you had one ready.
I do have one ready, but I want you to go first because I know you have more than me, and we can kind of switch off. I have just kind of like one big one.
Okay. So let's start with one of the shorter ones that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
by the way, like prefacing this, Levi's haunted.
yeah,
like,
dude, I'm straight up haunted.
Straight up haunted.
It's not funny. I run into scary shit like all the time, and most of the time I'm not even looking for it. It just happens around me. Sometimes I'm looking for it.
It's very
but...
unfortunate.
Okay, so my first scary story is gonna be the time that I heard an ice cream truck outside.
Oh God!
At about 4 a.m.
I haven't heard any of these stories.
Yeah, he hasn't heard any of these.
So this is.
I don't think I've heard yours.
I don't know.
Maybe I have.
Maybe you have.
I don't know. So this one happened to me not super long ago, a few months back during the summer. What happened was I was asleep and I woke up. It was like 4 a.m., midnight, that range. I probably didn't have a clock that I was looking at, but it's a time that nothing should be about.
Yeah.
I was woken up by a weird sound. It was like dee 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 dee, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" So I went outside and I checked like outside and stuff. There was no cars anywhere, and I was walking around my house. No one had the TV on, no music playing, nothing. It was just completely silent for the rest of the night.
That's so
after
weird.
that, and so I was just sitting there, and I was like, what was that? Because it was exactly like an ice cream truck sound.
That's so
I mean,
weird.
I don't think ice cream trucks really come around much in the world anymore.
Yeah,
I think that
especially in our area. I don't think.
Yeah, our area, there's not a lot of ice cream trucks.
Right.
But it was weird because I've heard ice cream trucks before. I used to live somewhere where ice cream trucks actually came around.
Right.
But it was just playing, and I had no idea where it was coming from. That everyone I talked to that's in my house said they heard nothing. So no one else woke up or anything except me. And there was an ice cream truck just playing, and it went away. And that's it.
That is so weird.
So yeah, weird stuff. Very weird.
Weird, scary story.
I could go do my next one because I have a few, but
yeah, you can do that one. I have to find the notes I have on this because I took notes on it right after it happened. Yep. Okay. Here it is.
Yeah. So my next one is going to be just the weird stuff that happens. So I work at Walmart, and some weird stuff just happens sometimes when I'm there. So like often stuff will just fall off shelves even if it's tightly secured on the shelf before. Nobody bumps it. No one's around. Like no one's in the next couple of aisles or anything. Stuff will just fall off the shelves. Sometimes I'll hear like weird sounds and nothing will be around. It's just weird stuff happens.
That's weird. I think that Walmart must be haunted because I visited it recently for like kind of, I mean, not the first time, but it's the first time I've like genuinely shopped there. I was with my mom. We were getting stuff. I just recently moved out. Hooray, fun stuff. But we were shopping, and we were like looking at some stuff, and suddenly just like something flies off the shelf and just hits her. It's just like a bunch of spoons.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was on that aisle too, like where the plastic spoons are. Was
yeah,
that where you were?
It's like the cooking ones.
It must be right around there.
That's so messed
because
up.
like that's exactly what happened. A bunch of paper plates flew off the shelf over there.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird in that Walmart.
Dude, that Walmart is weird.
There's a ghost somewhere in the kitchen supply area.
There must be.
It's definitely an interesting place.
I guess on that note too, this is more me being paranoid, but there's a scary atmosphere at my first job. So my first job, I worked at a big like parts warehouse for like motorcycle stuff and ATV stuff, all that sort of thing. So power sports, basically, power sports warehouse, parts warehouse. And I had worked there. I worked there for almost 2 years. It was actually decent. The management there was kind of but not too bad.
Everywhere is pretty
right,
let's be honest.
And they were operational 6 days a week, so, and everyone obviously worked 5 days a week, so every once in a while you'd be called, I think it's like once a month or once every other month, you'd be asked to work a Saturday. And Saturdays were always full-time, and it was like, okay, whatever, like we go in, and they have a smaller crew on Saturdays because barely any orders are going through, all that sort of stuff.
Everyone's using their toys on Saturday.
Correct. And so, in this warehouse both receives and ships, and then just has a bunch of buildings. It had 6 buildings to be exact, and the 6th building was the newest one. The first one was the oldest one, and I was super into like listening to scary podcasts at this point in time. I loved scary podcasts. Scary podcasts. So I really liked creepypastas and SCPs and stuff like that, and like what's the word? Urban legends, all that sort of stuff, and just like even scary stories people wrote themselves. So it was really interesting to listen to. And in that warehouse, they were a little strict on how you could socializing and stuff. So they wouldn't really let you go around and just talk to people because you have to be productive. And so for a lot of the time, you didn't really talk to people. You kind of just like put in your earbuds and did your own thing. And so that's what I did. And I would listen to scary podcasts. And Saturdays, because the crews were so small, there wasn't usually a lot of people in most of the buildings. Usually it was more in the older buildings, in like the first and the second and third buildings. So out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th buildings, there's really nobody. And all the lights were automatic too, so they'd be off. And every once in a while, you'd have to run back there, and you'd have to go pull something right from the back, some big thing. And this warehouse, the entire warehouse, from like front to one end to the other, was about a 1/4 mile long. Maybe a little longer than that too. It was long, and so you're like walking around with a pallet jack. And you come up to the edge of like building 4, building 5, and it's just dark. You're like, great, cool. I'm glad I'm listening to a scary podcast right now. This is sick. And so there was many a times where I'd be walking through, and you just have the aisles on both sides of you, and the lights are obviously, they're not perfect, they're delayed. So you'd walk into the aisle, and then like a second later it would turn on, and it would just go, and you're like, shit.
No serial killers here.
Yeah, no, it was really scary. So that was an interesting, scary thing I always had. Not fun, but it was always very creepy at that warehouse. Only during Saturdays though, because no one was back there and all the lights were off. There's also like barely any windows in this place, if at all, and so it was always just dark, scary. But anyways, that's scary things at my first job. But my scary story. So I actually wrote this down in my notes. I wrote down stuff about it when I experienced it, because I didn't want to forget it, and I don't think I could forget it even if I hadn't written it down, you know. And I've never okay, I'm a very light sleeper. I've never experienced anything like sleep paralysis or something like that, and I'm pretty sure this is what this experience was. So it was scary because I had never experienced anything like it before. But basically, I'm just sleeping, and then suddenly I kind of like half wake up, and then I like look around and go back to sleep or whatever. And that's a common thing for me. I usually wake up several times a night. I don't think I really commonly sleep through the night unless I've stayed up super late and I'm just like exhausted. So waking up at like 2 or 3 a.m. because for some reason I just do. I think I just must be a really anxious person.
Same,
But so that's a normal thing. So I wasn't like it wasn't weird for me. So I like wake up, I look around or whatever, and I go back to sleep. And suddenly, through my eyelids in the pitch blackness, I see something. It looks like the outline of a person, but it's darker than the darkness through my eyelids. And it's at the edge of it's like at the end of my bed where my feet are. And I'm normally a side sleeper, so I was like kind of curled up and I could the angle was right so I could see the end of the bed. And it like moved around behind me. And at this point in time, I was facing the wall and the door and like the rest of the room was behind me. So my back was to whatever this was and I could totally feel it was there. And suddenly my eyes shoot open and for some reason I just was like, this is the most scared I've ever been in my life. I've never experienced being paralyzed by fear until this moment. I could not move. I sat there for what felt like an hour, just like breathing heavily, knowing there was something behind me, being scared as fuck. And then finally, I was able to break free of whatever it was, and move my hand, grab my phone, and I turned on my flashlight, and all gone.
Sheesh.
And of course, it was on a school night, right? And then it was 3 a.m. Didn't sleep the rest of the night, and I was like, but I'm pretty sure it's just sleep paralysis or something like that. But that is
sleep paralysis demon, dude.
I've never experienced that before, and I've heard people joke about it before, but I never thought that was like even remotely a real thing. And so, like, yeah, no, that was just probably one of the most scary experiences of my life. I mean, another one was definitely the video we released last week.
Yeah, that one,
shameless plug.
that one was go legitimately. We were so freaked out.
Oh, I have some other scary stories too, but I'll let you tell a couple.
Let's see. All of mine are like short ones.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So this next one, it just keeps happening. So usually I remember a lot of stuff. Like I'll remember where I put stuff, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes stuff will just not be where I put it. And it might just be my family or something like that, just moving stuff around. But typically everyone's like, I haven't seen it. I haven't moved anything. So stuff will just move around my house. I have no clue why or who's moving stuff.
Either someone's fucking with you real hard.
Yeah, dude.
Or there's a ghost in your house.
I'm straight up haunted all the time.
All the time. Okay. I have another good story. So, me and my friends, we like to go out into like this desert area, kind of like just out in the middle of nowhere.
And is go this the camping. Next location?
The next location we're gonna go ghost hunting in. And I mean, okay, so we live in a place where it's pretty common that we're like, oh, skinwalkers, ooh, you know. And we go camping out in this area all the time and like have fires and just mess around and have fun. Sometimes we'll go shooting or something like that. But it's a good time until like really late at night. And one night in particular, and I've had two instances of this happen, but this I'll talk about them separately. But this first one, me and my two friends, we were just sitting around a campfire and chilling, and then suddenly, mind you, this is the desert. This is kind of like, I mean, there's like hills and stuff. I mean, it's not really, I don't know. It's like dirt and sagebrush. That's about it.
Yep.
We hear what sounds like a bear. In this area, it's not uncommon to hear like coyotes and even sheep because there's a bunch of private land nearby with a bunch of animals and cows and stuff like that, but not fucking bears.
Yeah, they don't exist down there.
And it sounds like it's pretty far off, and we're like, that's weird. What was that? And at this point in time, like I drove this really shitty like Ford Taurus. And it's an 07, and if you know anything about those cars, for that generation of Taurus, they're all crappy. And so I like beat the piss out of this thing. But we had driven it up there, and we were all kind of like sitting there, like, what the fuck was that noise? And then about 10 seconds later, we hear it again, but it's like way closer. Like it's almost right behind us. We're like, nah, this is messed up. We're leaving. So we instantly, like, I've never seen us pack anything faster than that moment. But we pop the trunk, throw everything in there. We like put out the fire as best as possible, and we are going. We like get in the car to go drive away. Like car is like it's struggling to start. And I was like, shit, come on! Finally starts. We are going so fast. We like run over the coals of our campfire, like not even caring. We were that fucking scared. And just dip out of there. It was the scariest shit ever. We were all just like, I think it literally took us not even a minute to get packed up and leave.
Did you have like tents out and stuff?
No, it was just like chairs and like a table and like snacks and stuff like that, and we were all just hanging out. And yeah, no, it was the scariest shit ever.
Yeah,
we were
I would have gotten out of there quick too.
And so there are no bears in the desert. And then the other experience we had was me and a couple of work buddies. We were all so in this same area, kind of. There's farther up a trail. There's this old train tunnel that everyone likes to go hang out in. It's a pretty common like hangout place for young adults to go like drink and smoke. Obviously, we didn't do that. We weren't old enough, but we were all going up there to hang out. We're still not old enough, but we were going out there to hang out and have a fire and like a fun. A common pastime of a lot of people is to like make huge fires in this tunnel, and then also like throw in cans of Axe and then just watch it explode. Not saying we did any of that, but we definitely
sounds smart.
That's something that a lot of people did, and it's not very smart. But we were just having a fire. So we were out there having a fire in this thing, trying to build it up with a bunch of the dead sagebrush, trying to make it really, really big. And suddenly, and then we were like running around because we were just being crazy. And one of our coworkers like runs out to the other end of the tunnel where we can barely see. And like while he's walking over there, we see like the outline of a person standing by the end of the tunnel, and we had not seen anyone coming up there because it was like near the beginning of winter last year, so like it's not a common spot during the cold times because no one wants to be up there.
Yeah, deserts during the winter, if you don't know, really cold.
Really cold. And then the fact too that this isn't very frequented other than by like stupid people who have trucks, because this trail is so bad. It's just covered in rocks and it's not very like level. There's some points where you're almost sideways in your vehicle, like trying to get up there. It's crazy weird. So anyways, it's not common to run into people that haven't hiked up there or during the winter. So we were just like, what the fuck is that? And our coworker comes like sprinting back, and we were like, did you see that? And he's like, we saw that. I saw that. Yeah, that was not a person. So we instantly put out our fire, pack up, and get out of there. But no, we've encountered a couple of weird things up there. So I think we'll be able to find some activity up there the next time we go, whether it be ghosts or something else.
And there are probably not as many power lines out there. In our last video, we got spooked by the power lines.
We got spooked by the power lines at the very beginning. I guess if you haven't watched it, go watch it. But we were using an EMF reader, and almost instantly, like when we stepped out of the vehicle and started looking around, we were like, why is this such a huge hotspot? We were underneath power lines. We didn't know.
We're pretty smart.
We're very smart. No, but those were some of my scary ghost stories.
Awesome. I think that's pretty much all I have as well, because like the stuff that happens around me isn't like super scary as ghosts, but like it's weird stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of funny the differences in our experiences. I have like one or two very big scary ones, and then you just have random stupid creepy shit happening all the time.
Yeah, dude,
and it makes no sense. I'm glad I don't live your life, or else I'd be paranoid as fuck all the time.
Yeah, I just try to make peace with the ghosts.
Please leave me alone, is what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, there's some of our creepy ghost stories.
Yep, this should be the third week of our spooky month.
Yep, spooky month. Woo!
Woohoo!
If you guys want to, if you guys have any suggestions for anything scary you want us to do, you could always let us know on our Twitter.
Absolutely.
Or I guess X now. I keep forgetting that. That's still so weird. That just makes it sound like a porn site. No offense.
Does.
But Elon Musk, not a smart man sometimes. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He's like one of the smartest men in the world, but also like really stupid.
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't call anyone stupid who can make billions of dollars. But
bro's gonna fight Mark Zuckerberg in an MMA or like in a boxing match.
Is that still happening?
I think that's still a thing because he's got a team and everything. They both have teams and they're both training. So.
Let's go.
So hopefully we get to see a.
Maybe we could do a commentary on that.
Yes, an Elon versus Zuckerberg fight, dude.
That would be so funny.
Man versus robot. I guess robot versus man who wants to be a robot.
And don't forget lizard person robot.
Or lizard person robot. That's right. So. Anyways, that's that. I don't know. That was a funny tangent, but thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Go check out our YouTube if you haven't already. I know we plugged it like 30 times. Shameless
but it's
plug.
Just so good.
It's just so good. It's so good. But anyways,
the video works better there than on Spotify.
Oh, definitely,
well, so
definitely. So
check it out.
Yep, we'll see you guys later. Thank you. Leaving so soon. Hope we see you next time.